Breaking news: former President Donald Trump has just made a shocking announcement. A new plan is now being discussed that could lead to major changes and even cuts to Social Security payments. This news broke only minutes ago, and already the reaction from senior advocacy groups is intense. According to multiple sources close to Trump, the former president wants to target what he's calling non-essential recipients. But what does non-essential mean? That phrase has never appeared in Social Security law. It's vague, subjective, and extremely dangerous. Early reports suggest that this may include early retirees, dual benefit recipients, or those receiving both disability and retirement income. There's even talk that widowed spouses or those with modest savings could be caught in the crosshairs. If true, this could impact millions of Americans across all 50 states. Analysts are warning that the cuts could range from $200 to $400 per month or more, depending on income and benefit type. For seniors living on a fixed income, that kind of loss is devastating. And with inflation still driving up the cost of groceries, gas, and prescriptions, losing even a portion of a monthly check could mean real hardship. Trump reportedly believes Social Security is overextended and abused. In his own words, "The system has been paying out too much for too long, and now it's time to rein it in." He argues that some people are double-dipping and taking advantage of the program. But critics are slamming the proposal. They say this is not about efficiency, it's about pulling the rug out from under people who've spent their whole lives working and paying into the system. The plan is being quietly discussed among Trump-aligned budget advisors. Some members of Congress are reportedly preparing a draft bill that would introduce eligibility reviews, means testing, and even a COLA freeze for selected groups of retirees. In plain English, that means your benefits could be reviewed, cut, or frozen depending on your other income or savings. So if you've worked hard, saved responsibly, and even picked up a part-time job, you could be told you're no longer eligible for full benefits. This would be a historic shift in how Social Security works. Since its creation in the 1930s, Social Security has been based on simple principles: you pay in and you get benefits. But Trump's plan introduces a new idea, that some seniors are less deserving than others based on their financial situation. It's a massive philosophical shift, and one that could affect every generation. And this isn't just a hypothetical debate. The Republican policy platform for 2025 is being written right now. And insiders say entitlement reform, especially Social Security, is going to be a major feature. Some Republicans in Congress are calling it a bold plan for sustainability. But senior advocates are calling it an outright betrayal. Because, let's be honest, cutting benefits from the most vulnerable Americans to balance the budget isn't bold. It's cruel. And it's not necessary. There are other ways to stabilize Social Security. Economists have long proposed solutions like lifting the payroll tax cap, which currently allows millionaires to stop paying into the system after a certain income threshold. But those ideas aren't being discussed in this plan. Instead, the burden is falling directly on seniors who are already struggling. And here's where it gets even more serious. If Trump wins in November, he may have the power to push these changes through quickly. Some of them may not even require full congressional approval. Using executive authority and budget reconciliation, his administration could begin implementing new eligibility rules as early as summer 2026. And once these changes are in place, they'll be hard to undo. Because historically, benefit cuts don't get reversed. This means now is the time to act. Not next year, not next month, but today. Already, major national senior organizations like AARP, the National Committee to Preserve Social Security, and dozens of local nonprofits are sounding the alarm. Petitions are gaining tens of thousands of signatures. Letters and phone calls are flooding into congressional offices. Because once Americans find out what's being planned, they're not staying silent. Still, some lawmakers are staying quiet, either because they support the cuts or because they don't want to go up against Trump before the election. That silence is dangerous. It allows this plan to keep gaining traction quietly, without public debate. And let's not forget, this is happening while COLA increases are already being scaled back. The 2025 cost of living adjustment is projected to be less than half of what it was in 2023. That means Social Security checks are already falling behind the real cost of living, and now they could be reduced even further. So, what happens if this plan moves forward? Millions of seniors could suddenly find themselves forced to make impossible decisions, choosing between vital medications and paying rent, between keeping the heat on or buying enough food for the week, between survival or falling into poverty. For many older Americans, Social Security isn't extra income, it's their only income. A cut of even $200 a month could be devastating. That's a week's worth of groceries gone. That's a utility bill unpaid. That's medication skipped. And for most seniors, going back to work isn't an option. They're too old, too ill, or simply not hireable in today's job market. When they suffer, their families feel it too. Adult children may have to send money, cancel their own plans, or take in their aging parents. Grandkids may see their college funds drained just to help pay grandma's electric bill. But the damage doesn't stop at home. When millions of seniors tighten their spending, the ripple effects hit the economy hard. Local businesses lose customers, especially in towns where retirees are the economic backbone. Pharmacies, diners, hair salons, even grocery stores could see profits drop. Some may lay off workers. Others may close completely. Housing markets may also feel pressure as more seniors are forced to sell homes or move into subsidized housing. And when preventive health care becomes unaffordable, emergency room visits rise, shifting even more cost onto taxpayers. So, while this plan may be framed as a budget fix, it could actually cause long-term economic harm to individuals, to families, and to communities nationwide, all in the name of saving money. But at what cost? Communities suffer, and the government ends up spending more on emergency aid programs to fill the gap. It's a lose-lose situation for everyone, and it's being framed as a smart budget fix. But make no mistake, this is a direct hit to your retirement security. If you care about your benefits or your parents, your grandparents, now is the time to speak out. Call your representatives. Join advocacy groups. Share this information with friends and family. Because once this plan is finalized, it may be too late to stop it. This is not just another political talking point. This is your future. And it's on the line right now. We'll continue following this developing story closely. Stay informed, stay vocal, and stay ready. Because what was just proposed in Washington could soon be showing up in your bank account as a smaller check, a delayed payment, or worse, no check at all. And by the time most people notice, the damage may already be done. Disclaimer. This video is for informational purposes only. It is based on publicly available reports and expert analysis. No part of this content should be taken as financial or legal advice. Viewers should consult official sources or professionals before making decisions.